Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, as the title suggests, who is Aristotle Dumas on The Young and Restless? I mean, I feel like we got a lot of questions tonight about a lot of different soap operas, but this right now is at the top of the list. I mean, is it Billy Flynn going to be Aristotle Dumas? Who the hell knows? But we're going to sit there and take as many guesses as we can until we eventually get something right. Now, as always, we're going to sit there and talk about all the soaps. You know how we do. Let's sit there and do roll call, get this started. Ryan's in the chat. How you doing tonight? GH fan. Amy's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Crystal is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Blackmon, aka Mr. GQ. Blackmon has been a member for 28 months, and I appreciate you greatly, as you know. So thank you so much. Blackmon's awesome, by the way. Crystal's in the chat. How you doing tonight? I hope everyone had a great day. Half, half man, how you doing? I hope everyone had a great day. It is Friday. We're gonna have some fun. Okay, you know how we do. We got a lot to talk about, people. We got lots of stuff to talk about. Now, for the members, I might have a couple more surprises for y'all tomorrow. If everything works out, we shall see. Hmm. Yeah, that's good. Um, I don't know what this is. My aunt got it for me a couple of days ago. This shit is. I gotta find out where she got this from. But anyway, yes, we're going to be talking about Young and Restless, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and the Beautiful, and Young and the Restless. And of course, Beyond the Gates. Let's make sure everything is working. Okay, we're good. But yes, that's the question. Who is Aristotle Dumas? And Sean is in the chat. And Sean is in the chat. We got two Sean's tonight. Kyle is getting bored with Claire. He wants Audra. Makes you think that. That was random. And what's good, Sean? What's good, other Sean? And of course, it proves right now that there's clearly more than one way of how to spell the word Sean. So, yeah, I have lost track of GH. I think most people lost track of GH. Is it just because of time and everything like that? You've just been busy with work and stuff? Yeah, GH was something today, I'll tell you that much. Oh, Lord. Lord. GH is always something. Busy as hell. Yeah. Krista is in the chat. How are you doing tonight? You know, Sean, I don't blame Kyle. I wouldn't want to sit there and deal with that either. You dating me. I'm dating you. I'm not dating Victor. So if your granddaddy got a problem with me and you need to sit there and get his approval so bad, then I can sit there and walk my ass somewhere else. I don't I don't need to deal with that. Like that's utterly insane. Like that's no. No. She's sitting there talking about, oh, let's throw a party. What? Like, did you really just sit there and say, let's throw a goddamn party? That's how we're going to sit there and try to get your granddaddy to sit there and change his mind? It's throwing a. It's like every time she talks, I swear you feel like she's born yesterday. Sean says I convinced Jason is not going to be paired with anyone. Well, from what I understand, he has a 2-year contract. Then after that, he is Audi 5000. Well, I'm pretty sure people will probably be happy about that, Krista. Because it's, all the time, every day is, oh my God, I hate Drew so much. Wah. So, yep, that's it, Sean. That is it. And you know what? I'm cool with that because, you know, I didn't like how things ended. I didn't like him being fired. I didn't think that that was fair. So I'm glad that he got to come back and everything like that and worked it out. Ron is in the chat with his goddamn paragraph. He has, Sean, he has. Ron says, Albert, do you think that Paulina was using tactics so Xander wouldn't have filed a lawsuit against? Um, yes, but they were just like, she tried to appeal to his sense of his heart and everything like that. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm like, girl, all you snitty doing is once again getting your daughter away from consequences that she should be snitty taking. Okay? She tried that last time, and you know that was with the whole university thing. And Mama came and tried to cover it up, and that shit didn't end well. So, in all reality, she did make that mistake. So the fact that she sat there with that goddamn sob story, well, she lost a baby, and then she couldn't adopt, and my wife almost died. So like, and my wife almost died. I'm not gonna sit there and tell me like, oh, it's not about and it's not about the money. It's about the goddamn Ryan says us Drew haters are, first of all, the fact that you're calling yourself Drew haters, like that's like a normal thing, is, yeah, that's already like weird. And also, GH, you gotta sit there and remember it's a TV show. Okay. I don't have the same amount of attachment that, the Drew haters have. Because to me it's not that serious. So it's a TV show. It's not like I'm not sitting there trying to be a dick. It's a TV show. Relax. Wink is in the chat. Darby's in the chat. We starting already. And I didn't even start drinking yet, so Ryan says I didn't. It's funny. I actually wound up doing a review yesterday. Ron says I didn't hear your opinion. Was 1 second, Sean. I didn't hear your opinion on the Kevin breaking into the lab to steal the drugs and um Jeffrey leaving the meeting early, which means that, well, I mean, the opinion is, well, take a wild guess, Darby. Take a wild guess. Wild guess. I mean, my opinion is Kevin is not there taking all the risks, and like Philip is just kind of standing in the background on the phone, like, yeah, man, you make sure you get out of there. Otherwise, we're both in trouble. Philip, let's be real. The only person who's going to be in trouble if this whole thing falls apart is Kevin. Well, I mean, well, he's in trouble now because he's catching an ass whooping. Well, Sean, at the end of the day, Carly was ungrateful, and Drew shouldn't have went to jail for her. She should have sat there and suffered the consequences of her actions. But that's the thing about Carly. Carly does not sit there and learn her lesson. Darby says, wait, I've been gone for at least a whole week. Don't come in. Darby, you know how I am. No one is spared the rod. You know that. What? I'm working on something. I don't know if I'm actually going to have it done by tomorrow. I'm going to try it out. I mean, I want you to manage your expectations. It's not going to be like mind blowing, but I just saw some more stuff. Wow, really, Sean? You're really going to stop watching General Hospital because, you know, Drew left? I mean, because Jason left? Jason's leaving? Demetra says, Albert, do you think Xander has what? Oh, he definitely lost it. Is he going to lose Sarah? Okay. He going to lose Sarah? Shit. Don't tell me you let her leave your dungeon. No. But I saw her earlier though in Randall Ricardo's stream earlier. So hopefully she comes on tonight. But no, he's definitely gonna lose it. He's gonna lose Sarah. He may actually wind up losing his freedom, Demetra. Like that ass serious. He may wind up losing his goddamn freedom. Damn, Ron, just throw my business out there in Front Street. No, I wasn't, no, I wasn't upset. Yeah, Darby. Apparently, from what Kyrie said, Steve signed a 2 year contract. Now, granted, he can extend that. He doesn't he can always sit there and extend that contract, but you know, he can always extend that contract, but that's what the contract is. So after 2 years, he may just go bye bye. Bye bye. Well, Krista, from what I understand, that Steve only signed a 2 year contract. Yeah, so when he came back, word on the street is that he signed a 2 year contract. So like this year and next year and after that. Yeah, it's possible. But I mean, you never know, Sean. You never know. The future is always forever changing. So back to being a deadbeat. Yes, we shall see. But yeah, like I said earlier, um, Carly should have went to jail. Yeah. Maybe not for the RICO violation stuff because I felt like that to be BS. But this is another one of those things where Carly snipped it, inserting herself into a situation that should be left for Michael. But oh no, I'm a Spencer. I'm doing good, Black Man. I'm doing pretty good. I actually survived today, and I'm very happy about that. But I'm glad you're good, Black Man. It's good to see you tonight. It's always good to see you. Ron says, I'm telling you and others in the chat, that's a clue with Rachel Nightmare, which means that, okay. All right. You know what, Ron? If you turn out to be right, I will sit there and say I was wrong and you were right. But, and the thing is, it's not even just the Carly part. It's the fact that they didn't bother to sit there and get another Michael. That's the thing. They should have had another one lined up. You know, I understand that she wants to help, but by her doing that, she kind of made she could make things a little bit more worse. Never been a fan of Laura Ray. Right? You don't like Laura Ray. No, no, I know what you meant, but like, why you don't like Laura Wright though? Was threw up. Wow. All right, yeah, that kind of. I don't know. Maybe she has. I don't remember her. But the point is that she's inserting herself into a situation that can wind up turning out worse. I know, Black. Listen, Black man, you've been with me from day one. I appreciate the hell out of that shit. Seriously. Well, tomato, tomato, Sean. I respect your opinion. Hmm. Probably, Sean. Probably. But if they found that he was drugged, which he was, they kicking him out of office would probably want to backfire. But at that point, Drew's a victim. You know. Darby says, "Isn't it ironic that Carly is the voice of reason for her cousin Lulu going after Gio?" Yeah, I know. I know, right? Not sure, Albert. She rubbed. Oh, she rubs you the wrong. Okay, all right. Well, I get it, Sean. I respect your opinion. No, it's not. It's not. It's not childish, Ron. He just doesn't like her acting. He finds Sarah Brown a little more better. We all got our opinions. In that case, yes, Frank. In that case, yes. You get drugged. Yeah, you're a victim in that. What I find, I'm surprised they went with this story of Drew getting drugged with ketamine because, well, if you know the thing about Matthew Perry, that's what he was using as well. Now, granted that I guess it's a long enough time span where it's like they felt comfortable doing that story, but I don't know. Like it dawned on me. Sean, don't pay attention to that. Yeah, exactly, Sean. That's what I said. Don't pay attention to that. Like that's your opinion. It's. Yeah, exactly, Chris. It's just a matter of opinion. That's all. What's good, Susan R? Yeah, no, that's what I said. They're both good at in their own respective way. I personally like Laura Wright better, but Sarah Brown is cool. Eh, eh. Well, I know people like her, so yeah, Sarah Brown is cool. I guess I don't know. She didn't really gravitate towards me too much, but to each his own. Thank you, Darby. Yes, make sure you hit that goddamn like button because that shit really does help. Hell, actually, I'm about to do that right now. Okay, we got 24 people in the chat. We got 11 likes, so make sure you hit that like button. Thank you, Darby, for reminding me. Yeah, I mean, I saw Tamara longer, so I don't really know one thing really about what you call her. It says, "What do you think of Candor? What did you think of Candor? Who's Candor?" Debbie says, "What did you think of Candor? Who's Candor?" I might have missed that. What are we talking about? Ring says one thing someone brought up on Twitter was Drew was talking about Jericho before he got out for Kenny. Oh, Yeah, no, that was classic. Listen, we knew that the way he did it though, like the way he was just setting up and stuff like that, and like, pulling off the collar and taking off the jacket and everything like that. Like that slow, like that build up was great. He was like, I'm gonna go back to my old roots. Like it was such a great scene. Even before he just went up hitting them, it was a great build up scene. Oh, Carter. Well, I think thank you, Ryan. Carter, I get it on some level. It's, I mean, he felt like he's the common denominator in all his screwed up relationships. I'm also just like, bro, I think you'd listen in on half of the conversation. You know, it's like when you find out that you're wrong and you sit there just hanging out with Daphne, who is thirsty as hell. I think he's being kind of an idiot, but I don't know. Sometimes his acting when he tries to be sad just comes across as very weird. It was a great build up. Like, it was a great build up for an ass whooping that we're gonna see. I can't wait until Philip tells the truth about Xander's precious Sarah content. Ooh, oh, that's gonna be great. Hopefully, his ass will be in jail at that point because what he did was assault. But yes, is trifling. Oh, okay, Ron. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Stephanie. You know, yeah, not a huge fan. I mean, I don't hate her, but always seemed like she was kind of annoying from day one. I'm like, yeah, she look a little kind of okay, but like, still kind of annoying. Sean says Albert Carter is sleeping with Daphne and Hope, not knowing would be Soapy. Oh no, I thought I heard something. I thought I heard something. I thought I heard music or whatever. I wish we still had a character like Lila and GHY, sweet of a lady. Yeah, she was one of a kind. Krista says, I want Melinda to come back for Brady. Yes, Ron, that's going to sit there and play a factor. Hopefully, into sometime next week. Oh no, I was not, dog. I wasn't worried about that. I just thought I heard music. I thought like my neighbor was playing music or something. That's all. So what Patch and Sean going to do now? Pray for a miracle. I mean, what else could they really do, right? I mean, yeah, they can sit there and try to find who stole the drug. They can do that. Oh, well, the thing is, Darby, I'm gonna get some curtains though. We get some curtains this year. Get some curtains this year, so that's gonna happen. I just, I've been so busy. So busy. You know how it is. But no, they're gonna have to hope for. Oh, and by the way, um, Sierra and Hope is coming back next week. So you know, and they got the actor that playing Bo. He's going to come back. So you see, this is what I'm talking about, right? People are just like, oh, is it going to be too late? It was like, is it going to be too late? What do you mean, is it going to be too late? They ain't bring that actor back just that way he could sit there and probably wake up for a little bit and die. That's the whole thing about Liam. This is the whole thing about Liam. Why I'm just not really caring. Oh wow! So you just putting that business out there? Ring said this year, we're almost 6 months into the year. Amazon delivers in 24. Yeah, no, I know, I know. It's weird. I had my dad like measure the length so I could sit there and get some curtains, and I think that was like last year. I know Black Mine. He just happily threw me under the goddamn bus. Like Ryan said, "Did you know that when Belle and Sean first got together, they were played by Kristen Storms and Jason Cook?" Okay, I didn't know. I knew Kristen Storms. I didn't know Jason Cook though. So that's actually interesting. And thank you, Queen Becky D. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank Becky for her generosity. Really appreciate that. It's good to see you tonight. Becky is also one of my OG members and subscribers. You will be happy as hell. I don't know if you'll be happy as hell. I don't know why would you think you'll be happy? They're pretty curtains. They're pretty curtains. It's just, I was planning on getting some new curtains, and then I don't know. But it was like last year, or maybe the year before that. It's good to have you though, Becky. Because Sheila's like 70 years old, Ron. Nobody wants to sit there and see a 70-year-old pregnant. Ron, she's too old to be pregnant. Okay, she's too old to be pregnant. Ryan says, I love when actors play couples on soaps and they play a couple on another soap. Another fun fact: Kayla and Patch were also, yes, were also a couple on GH, and that really, I know that the actor that plays Steve used to be a Cassadine, right? I don't remember which one he used to play, but he used to be a Cassadine though. Eagle fan, is Willow a lost cause? No, it's hard to sit there and think if anyone's really a lost cause. Um, but no, I don't think so. Thank you, Susan, and thank you, Wing Stephen Casa. Thank you. Thank you, Susan, and thank you, Wink. Who happened to be Carly's aunt. Oh wow. All right, you know your stuff. It's more depending on eh, I would probably sit there and say Carly. Ego, I would sit there and say Carly. Oh, Ron says she's too old my ass. It's a TV show. Anything is possible. Doesn't matter the age. Oh. Oh. Yeah, Chris is C63, but he told me though. Yeah, it's amazing. YouTube has been good for a lot of things, Brian. Remember, there was times I used to sit there and have to take certain tests, and I'll go right to YouTube to sit there and look something up. Ron, that line was hilarious. Yeah, Eagle, no, I agree with that. Kristen Demara is around Sheila's age and had a baby. That's true, but ain't nobody wants to sit there and see Sheila have a baby. nobody, want, nobody wants to sit there and see Sheila have a baby. Yeah, babies. Babies. You fantastic. Did you hear that they are adding additional changes to that Johnny Somalia that yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. And Jack was pissed. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing. He's still operating like he lives in the U.S. That's the thing. He's been operating like he's been living on the U.S. Like, oh well, it's not that big of a deal. And I'm like, yeah, out here it's not that big of a deal. But I mean, it's so weird though, Eagle. It's like it seems like most people are united, but it's so weird though, because like if this was anybody else, people would generally feel bad for him, you know. But it's amazing that like damn near all YouTubers and people that know him are actually excited that he's going to jail. Like they're looking forward to him going to jail. That's mind blowing. I'm like, you gotta be a real piece of to practically have damn near everyone on the internet being like, I hope he gets the maximum sentence. That's saying something right there. Like, you f***ed up. Sean says Albert Cat should get with EJ. He doesn't judge her like everyone else. That's true. But he also does have Belle, so, I'm telling you, Darby, the internet is there. Hell, I'm enjoying this downfall. And I know that sounds fucked up, but like, is. Oh, you didn't hear about that, Darby? Oh, wow. Okay. Xander got upset. It was Chanel's fault that gave Sarah the wrong kind of like cookies or something like that, and she's allergic to peanuts. So this was Chanel's fault. But before that, people thought it was Felicity. So Xander was like, listen, you're just, you know, he got upset and he basically called Felicity careless because he thought that Felicity was the one that carried out the tray, so this way, you know, Sarah could sit there and eat it. So he thought that Felicity um was good last day. He thought that Felicity was the one that gave that mixed up the order. Yeah, pistachios. Yeah, what's good, Jay Blue? So that's what wound up happening. And all he said was like he asked her a question, and then he was like, listen, my wife could have died, and she was not there being careless. That wouldn't have happened if she was paying attention. That's literally all he said. And it was Kat and Chad that blew it out of proportion. I'm glad to hear that last day. That's actually very good news. Very happy for you. It's funny. I looked into that, um, and I saw her on a podcast. No, they didn't talk about it. I'm gonna look that up. Thank you, Ryan. Blackmon says Victoria auditioned for the Anita Dupree. Really? Wow. Gee, I wonder why she didn't get it. Yeah, I am too. I am too. Last I don't know if it was pistachio nuts, but like it was something with peanuts in it. And the thing was like, okay, it happened. Yeah, it wasn't her fault. That was they must have settled if we haven't heard anything. I saw on a podcast like maybe a couple months ago, like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and she was talking about it. So I mean, she could have settled, but yeah, that was essentially it. And but now, like I don't know if Xander's actually going to have time to apologize to Felicity, which I felt like it could have been a very controversial. I felt like that might have been a very controversial statement because Felicity does have Down syndrome, and he snapped at her. You know what, Ryan? My stance on that, I understand where he's coming from. I understand where he's coming from. I don't necessarily think it's on one hand. I don't think it's smart to sit there and try to file a lawsuit and then think you're going to be working anywhere else. But I do understand where he's coming from because I don't like what GH did. And granted, I was a person that took the vaccine, but that's a choice. You don't just sit there and tell somebody, well, you don't have a choice. Like that's what you have to do. So like I don't know, like in a weird way, it's like I kind of stand with his decision on that. But then his temper got the best of. Yeah, it did, but he didn't say. The thing is, yes, but he didn't say anything. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, and that's true, Brian. Yes, a lawsuit is the kiss of death. Wayne says nobody spared a ride. How would you discipline your child if they had Down syndrome? That's the problem. What's good, Jonathan? That's the problem. Like that's. I'm gonna be honest. That's probably a little more trickier. You know, probably what's good, Big Nate. That's probably a little more trickier. That's a little more trickier. And yeah, his temper got the best of him. But I don't even think that Cat or Chad bothered to sit there and see Xander's side. Like his wife almost died. So of course he's gonna sit there and be like pissed off and stuff. Hell, I actually tell you the truth, I think he was pretty restrained considering. Kirby says who Engel votes for is none of Nancy's business. FABC for doing her dirty. For doing her dirty work. Whoa, 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 whoa. Of course not, Jonathan. Well, well, it hasn't happened so far. Well, wait, what do you mean FABC for doing her dirty work? They didn't rock with him. What are you talking about? This wasn't about who he voted for. This is about him not taking the vaccine. It's weird, Ryan, because I kind of see them as the same character. Like I really do. I really see them as the same character. Like his acting style is the same for Justin as it is for Ned. So I don't really sit there and see him that different. Yeah, but you know why he got fired though, right? He got fired because he didn't take the vaccine. He didn't get fired because of who he voted for. The actress that plays Diane is also a T voter. So, like, Wing says Kevin acts the same as Leo too. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I did, Jonathan. Yes, I did. Bo, Sierra, and Hope. One says it's Sean. Yeah, and they played out on screen too, Ryan. Ron says if Sean and Patch finds out that Philip is the one that stole the drug, then what I don't think they know who Kevin is. I don't really understand the question. That doesn't seem like a question to me. Okay. I feel like fuck it. Let me sit there and say because I don't give a shit. Um, let's just be real. I don't take that relationship seriously. I really don't. No, he's not. But he's playing this exact like what I'm saying is like his personality and quirks and stuff like that is very similar. You know, I think that just as more like Lynette has become too much of like his mother without the good since he hit the match. Well, would it be fun to see Gwen and Kat interact? I felt like you said something. Oh, I just meant like more their acting style and their personalities and stuff. Then it's just like Victor a lot of ways. Oh, and what will they do? They'll try to get the drug back from them. Yeah, yeah. Steve and Sean will try to get the drug back from them and find out and try to find out where it's at. That's what they'll do. You know? Johnson says, "What do you think Xander will do with Philip after he beats him? What else is he gonna do? I mean, the only other thing to sit there and do is kill him, and I don't think he's gonna do that. Um, I just don't see this working out for Xander in the long run. You know, Sarah's gonna find out. Kate's either gonna want him dead or in jail. Sarah's gonna find out, but then Xander's gonna sit there and find out what Sarah did, and they're gonna want to break it up. When at some point it's gonna come back, and maybe Gwen and Xander want to hook up or something. That's how I see that playing out. Ryan said, "Was it hard to start watching Days One on B&B 2021? There's so much history to know." No, Days was actually kind of easy because Days was actually just pretty good. Um, and people told me that Days, like people that watched Days, it reminded them of One Life to Live. So no, because honestly, to tell you the truth, I didn't feel like I really needed that much history to um, review whatever episodes that happened that day. Only thing that was hard for me was learning the names. What's good, cherry ice cream? The history wasn't the problem. The names was the problem. Because I hate reviewing something and I have to sit there and try to like look up the names and everything. Like that's more harder than trying to do the history. History, I can just kind of just you know get it through the comment section and stuff. The subscribers help me out with that. Sean says, I bet Kat tells Gwen I'm impersonating her sister, and Gwen would probably laugh a little. Kind of sick if she laughs, but okay. Was good, Amber. Nah, Days has actually started to get good again. I mean, Days wasn't bad. It was, for instance, it just kind of sucks for you in a way because you miss best stuff. For example, you seen Stacy as Kristen, but you haven't seen. No, I haven't. I haven't. Ryan. And like I said, there was other stuff on Days that I heard was like really well. But you know what? I saw a lot of old school General Hospital, and I wouldn't have traded that. Like I wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? Like 2000, 2001, 2000, all that stuff was amazing, and I wouldn't have traded that to watch the history of the other stuff. You know, 'cause I started watching General Hospital in the beginning, especially back then. We had Patrick and Robin, and you had Diego that came in, and you had Sky. Like, nah, yeah, Courtney. Like that stuff. Like, I wouldn't, I wouldn't trade that history. Oh, it's none of her damn business. Rachel is her niece, all right? Like, what are you talking about, Ron? Rachel is her niece. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't a fan of like Emily or Georgie or Maxie. I wasn't a fan of that stuff, but like I like the old school Lucky. What was this? What was the other Lucky? What was the other Jacob Young? Um, I know some people don't like Jacob Young. I like Jacob Young. I like the before he became Eric. Um, Greg Vaughn. I like Greg Vaughn as Lucky as well. I remember Lucky and Sam was going out. He goes just like Jackman and never had any chemistry. Oh, okay, that's when you start. Okay, so you started late in the game. Okay, Sean. So you never got to sit there and see the first Drew played by Billy. Yeah, I mean they definitely could be. How many Luckies that we have? We had Jacob. We have Jonathan. We have Greg Vaughn. But I feel like there's only three. Yeah, I feel like there was three. Why am I missing one? Jonathan, how many Luckies do we have? I feel like there's three. Or at least it was three when I started watching. Jacob, Eric, and Jonathan. Okay, thank you, Ryan. Yes. That's what I kind of figured. That's what I kind of figured. I was like, math is right. And And thank you, Jonathan. And, that's the thing, though. They all play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoyed all their versions. I enjoyed all the versions. Now, there was a couple of different Carlys. And there was only one Carly. There was only one Carly that was that people don't talk about. I remember what that Carly name was, right? Remember the actress that played that Carly that no one talks about? Oof. For for Wilson was the fourth. Okay. Yep, that's right. That's right, Ryan. That the name that shall not be named. Oh, good times. I'm all for Cat and EJ. Don't tell me it's about Belle. It's an addiction. She has no relationship. Oh, well, she needs to go back to work. Damn, Ron. She who, oh, Baltimore. She who we do not speak of. Google. One. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Jonathan. Next week, right? What's good, Lashanta? How are you doing tonight? Perry's a streamer. I got to sit there and be spying on people. Like, what am I doing? Oh, okay, that's good. Jonathan, let me tell you something. And I'm glad you asked that question because I actually wrote it down too. Part of me was like, Marlena, you know you were not in a good mood. And you decided to hang out with probably the most annoying woman in Salem. Like, come on. Like, the thing is, I knew she was going to snap on her and then feel bad afterwards. But I'm like, come on. I didn't feel sorry for poor Charlotte. And thank you, Becky D. Hit that like button. Where are we with the likes? Okay, we got 9 away. So yeah, we got 9, 8 away. Hit the like button. Ryan said, "Is there a soap actor I just see would be nervous to me for me? It would be Nancy Grant. I love her, but she's very outspoken. Sometimes outspoken people can be. I would sit there and say maybe to. I don't know if I would be nervous, but I think I would. I would be. I would make sure I'll be on point, and that would be Maurice Bernard and Eric Braden. Eric Braden. Eric Braden. Oh, right, and you missed it. You missed it. I think it was last year or the year before that. I got to talk to the actor that played Dex. I got the yeah. No, I got to talk to that the actor that played that Dex, and of course oh my God, I cannot sit there and think of his name. Nathaniel Gray. When I first yeah, Evan Hoff. Thank you, Rank. Hoffner. I got kind of nervous a little bit. Not gonna lie, kind of threw me off. And Nathaniel Gray. Nathaniel Gray is my guy now, but Yeah, Black Man. Eric Braden would be that's a serious dude right there. Thank you, Wayne. Yeah, Evan. Evan was cool, but like I did get thrown off. And the first time I met Nathaniel, I was so psyched. It took me like an hour to go to sleep afterwards. Like literally, I could not go to sleep because I was so. Oh yeah, Johnson. No, Eric Braden. That's I call him the great Eric Braden. I like him, Jonathan. He is a vast improvement over the other guy. Jonathan, he is a vast improvement over him. For instance, have you met Brooke Ashley? Is that the woman that plays Portia? Right? Oh my god. When I would pay money to sit there and see him interview you know how I'm gonna sit there and say Melanie Scott Thompson. I would oh my lord. I would pay to see that shit. Jillian don't know if it's true, but rumors that Drew and Nina what? Black Mouse lets me know him for Victor Newman, but he was in an episode of one. Really? Jillian says don't know if it's true, but I heard rumor that Drew and Nina might be hosting. Yeah, I heard about that too, Jillian. Johnson says, "Oh, Marcus Johnson upstage by a former Power Ranger. Who knew?" Yeah, he like I say, he's so much more of an upgrade. Lashanta says, "Who do you think shot EJ?" And then what we got Isaiah over here, the skateboard whiz episode. Okay, I gotta sit there and check that out. Thank you, Blackmon. I'll message you that just in case I forget. Damn, it's so many people. I don't know. I don't know. Who do you think it is, Lashanta? I feel like I gotta write that down again. Like I gotta put that as a title again because I have no idea. And Jonathan is still on Little Rachel. It could be Arnold Finnegan. I mean, damn, I just don't know. What's good, Jillian? It's good to see you. The reason why I ain't watching Renshaw is because it's a waste of viewers' times. Also, it's an embarrassment because we asked the audience that Liam is going to survive. Yes, true. I mean, I'm not counting it out. I'm not, Ryan. I just, this would be so weird if it's little Rachel, you know? Is that, and LaShonda Smith is saying, is Rachel. So that's interesting. That's hella interesting. I will sit there and say that. Um, I don't know. Just don't know. You forgot about that. I don't know why I forgot about that. I mean, I get it, Jonathan. It can. I get the potential for story. I do. I just like I said, you could be right. You could be right. I would just find it weird that it's little Rachel that just picked up a pew pew. You know, I'm not saying it's not possible, I mean, you look at that pathetic ass birthday party that she had. The chick is rich, and yet she couldn't get kids to come to a party. Julian says, hopefully, we see something or several things coming out of GH next week, since they'd love to have a big drama. Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be. We definitely going to get some reveals. Julian, definitely. Probably going to get the Geo reveal, um, the Christina reveal, as far as tampering with the brakes and stuff. Um, and the thing is, Julian, I'm telling you. Are you talking about Amanda Lashanta? You talking about Amanda? I mean, no, of course. No, yeah, we know why, Jonathan. When we watch the show, we know why. My thing is that I put this more on Kristen than I do on Brady. I do. I put this more on Kristen because she spends more time with Kristen. She emulates Kristen. And like I said, when you're rich and you can't get a bunch of kids to come to your party, you know you fucked up. Jay Blue says Sidwell might do something too. He might be the person to reveal to sit there and be fireball the whole place. So it's just, again, I look at that. Oh yeah, I can't wait for that, Prashant. I cannot wait for that. Um, I just don't understand why Sonny will sit there and give his territory to a guy who he don't trust. A guy who he know literally kidnapped his best friend, kidnapped Sasha, kidnapped Lucky, and you're like, yeah, three people who I know. Three people that I know has got kidnapped by Sitwell. Yeah, let me hand power over to this guy. Like, what the Ryan says, I don't feel like watching a child being evil is entertaining. I think it's disturbing. Tomato, tomato. Oh, they turn Ray to a character. What else happened? What else? Thank you, Jonathan. What else happened on this? It's funny. I think this is not. Nope, it's actually over here. So that'll be one how that'll be. But you see what I'm saying, though, right, Jonathan? You see how it just seems so daffy, and it just comes across as bad writing to sit there and give a guy who you don't trust, who you know has done stuff, power. Like it. Lashanta says everyone is always hating on Sonny, but everybody else would be worse. Well, that's why they deal with Sonny. That's why Laura was not there act. Let me tell you something. Laura was just beside herself. Oh, well, I don't think you should go because the next person that we get could be worse. Yeah, that sounds like a you problem, like a you and an Anna problem. Ron says, "Do you remember when Ava came to Tamara's house and little Rachel told her to leave him alone and go before she called security? You were laughing." No, actually, I was not laughing. Ryan says, "I'm surprised at your reaction from your opinion about Rachel. It seems like you found her behavior more cringy and entertaining." No, 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 no. Right. What I'm simply saying, when I say tomato, tomato, I mean like Jonathan is going to find it entertaining. And you're not going to, you know what I'm saying? Something like that, you wouldn't find it entertaining. That's why I say tomato, tomato. It's like to each their own, you know? I think for me, it would just be. I can see what you're saying, but I don't know. I just, for me personally, I don't know if it would be. I don't know if it would be disturbing. I think it would just be more surprising. Like, yeah, she has bad tendencies and she does some pretty bad shit, especially if she can't get a class full of friends to come to her party and she's rich. That's a huge leap. You know what I'm saying? It's She has motive, but half the goddamn town has motives. I mean, no one really likes Egypt. So Ryan says, so Albert, what was your reaction when Rachel told Ava to leave her mom alone and go before she called security? I don't remember actually having a reaction. I just thought that she was just being protective of her mom. Yeah, Lashanta. I so look forward to pressing the mute button when Tracy starts singing. Or when everyone starts singing. I hope that answers the question though. Right. Without Sunny in the way, Brick would rule that town. I just, again, I look at Laura and I'm like, you shouldn't be asking Sunny to sit there and clean up your mess. Johnson says she also acts like an entitled brat. Yeah, and again, Kristen doesn't. The fact that Kristen was sit there making so much excuses for her, and the fact that Brady was like, yeah, well, I take some responsibility for it too. I was like, she's with Kristen most of the time. What responsibility are you taking? Like, I don't understand that. So, what the hell else happened? Oh, so you also had Jeffrey that was sitting there blaming Kayla. And I knew he was going to blame Kayla because I'm like, and then Kayla's like, well, listen, if I would have sat there and took the drug, I would have been halfway gone. I was like, not necessarily. You could have always sent somebody over it. And the thing is, while she's sitting there defending herself, one, she was planning on taking the drug anyway. So it's not like she's entirely innocent from this whole thing, too. Um, oh no, I didn't sit there and say I didn't remember it, Ron. I just said that was my thoughts. I thought that she was being protected. I didn't say I didn't remember it. I said that I thought that she was being protected. He's paranoid. I mean, he already sat there and blamed Rachel, and it would make sense for him to sit there and blame. She calls security, but you and Laura are responsible. Oh, thank you, Ron. So I'm responsible for Ariana Zucker leaving Days of Our Lives. Okay, thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. But no, I mean, it makes sense, Jonathan. Think about it. I think Xander was not there. Somebody said something along. No, it was Sean. Sean was like, "Well, why would he sit there and try to buy it out if he can just sit there and steal it, right?" And the same thing with EJ. It's like, why would EJ sit there and spend all that money and he can just take the gold for himself? Yes, he is working with him and stuff like that. But let's be honest, EJ does not exactly have the best track record for being a good person. Robert has no connection to Exelon. Thank you, Jonathan. I can see where he's coming from. But my whole with Kayla sat there and she started going at EG like, "Oh, well, you stole the drug, and if Bo dies, I'm blaming you." It's like, well, you just got accused of the same thing, and then you got super offended that he blamed you. So what are you going to do? You go and do the exact same thing that was done to you less than 20 minutes ago. I'm just like, what the hell? Oh my goodness. Alyssa J, what's good, Alyssa J? Damn, it's good to see you. Oh, he's joking, Ryan. He's. Let me tell you something, Ryan. I mean, let me tell you something, Ryan. Ron is my jester. Okay, he is my jester. I find him very funny and entertaining. Okay, Ryan. Yeah, I find him very funny and entertaining. Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you, Alyssa. Jubilee says, I didn't realize that Cody didn't know that Brooklyn had a baby. However, blabbermouth Cody would definitely. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I mean, Ryan, even if he's not, it's funny. The thing is, Ryan, as long as I find it funny, that's what that matters. That's why I call him my Chester. Yeah, I find it funny. So he makes me laugh. Alyssa, you been watching Beyond the Gates? And if so, what's your thoughts on that? What is your thoughts about Beyond the Gates? Because I swear we didn't even talk about that soap tonight. I actually want to do a review. You got six people trying to get a hold of the job. So what are your thoughts? Jonathan, are you watching Beyond the Gates? Oh, I'm not worried about that, Ryan. I appreciate it though, but I'm not worried. I find it more funny and entertaining than anything else. What are your thoughts on it, Jonathan? Leslie is tripping and so is LA Cat, but she needs to think harder. Leslie is tripping. I mean, she kicked out her own daughter, and I'm like, boo, you're. Oh yeah, no, right. Like I said, I find it hilarious. Sometimes I would sit there and screenshot some of the stuff that Ron says, and I'll laugh about it at work. Like literally, I will sit there and look at it and start laughing. Yeah, she don't, Jonathan. She came in there with half-ass evidence, and Jacob was like, what is this supposed to be? I am like in the Joey and Doug and Vanessa stuff. And we gotta talk about Ashley and Derek for a hot minute too. Mike says Tom to expose Leslie for attempted murder and Martin's secret needs to come out by. Yeah, that shit definitely needs to come out. Yeah, I heard about it when it happened. Right. Yeah, I heard about it when it happened. Uh, a guy named Dion, our GH after show, when I'm doing, a tribute stream to like some of her old work when she was on General Hospital, way, way, way a long time ago. It should still be up if you want to sit there and check it out. It's on what's the name of his channel? Dion's Corner General Hospital. Yeah, it's called Dion's Corner General Hospital. Wink says Ashley hates Derek. No woman in love treats her man like that. She has such a stink attitude with him. It makes me not like her character. How can he has? And the thing was, like, there was a point where he was joking around, and she was like, "Oh, it's not funny." I was like, "Okay, all right, damn." And then he came over there, and he was like, "Okay, maybe we should sit there and try to get an apartment together since you're very territorial about, changing stuff and living in a small space." And then she was like, I think our problems run deeper than just an apartment. And I'm like, okay, I don't think that she understood just how messed up that was. Let me tell you something. No one likes getting blindfolded. I mean, no one likes getting blindsided like that. Nobody, right? So, I mean, let's be honest. She had a stink attitude with him the moment. Yeah, I'm not reading it wrong. She had a stink attitude the moment that he moved in. My whole thing is like, if you had such an issue with that, you should have just told him no. You let him move in. You let him move in, and then you want to sit there and start having this little stink attitude here and there. I think that's another reason why it inspired me to sit there and do a review. Wing said what Ashley is doing to Derek is the reason why men are confused about what women want. Learn to exactly learn to fucking communicate. Thank you, Wayne. Fucking point. Yes. Johnson says, "How do you think Lulu will feel when she learns that Brooklyn had no idea about Gio or his adoption process?" I don't think it's gonna matter. I don't honestly tell you, I don't think it's gonna matter. Like, as far as like her not having an idea about the adoption process, because she's more upset with the fact that she didn't tell Dante. I don't think that that's going to be a concern. I think she's more upset with the fact that she's been lying to Dante for years and refused to tell him the truth. So that's the thing. That's kind of a little secondary in my opinion. Seriously, Cherry. Ron says Albert is very biased because there's no problem. No, Ron, it's illegal. Okay, it's illegal. I mean, it's fucking pedophilia right there, my guy. Like, I don't understand. Like, why were you sitting there talking like that's not an issue? But that's what I think. I think like that's going to be secondary, in my personal opinion. And that's the thing. Like, and it's I've been in Derek's shoes in the sense of being blindsided, you know, by someone who didn't want to bother to communicate, let her feelings fester up, and then just unload them. And I'm sitting there looking like over the fool, like, why didn't you just sit there and talk to me about this? But then they just sit there and, and this is the problem. Women like Ashley loves to sit there and think that you're mind readers. That shit pisses me off because I don't have the time, and more importantly, I don't have the patience to sit there and deal with somebody like that. But the real question is, after, like Jonathan, after this whole thing gets revealed, how is Dante going to respond to Brooklyn? How is Dante going to respond to Lulu? Oh no, that's something separate, right? Now that has nothing to do with Drew. That's something entirely separate. If you're talking to me, that's something entirely separate. I mean, and that's true. That's true. Alyssa, they are genuinely just there to be there. Well, they're there for reasons, but yeah, I saw the previews. Saw the previews. It looks like because here's the thing, he already had his issues um with Andre being so close to Ashley. And Ashley is kind of trash for the fact that she knows that this guy tried to make a move on her, and yet she's still sitting there being like hanging out with him. Johnson says, I think Dante be a citizen. People probably will as most of all. and that's probably and you're right, and I think I'd be so stupid, right? He should be upset with Brooklyn most of all. I really wish that you hadn't told your true story of family members. Oh! My Drew Kane story. My Drew Kane. Yeah, no, that's a member exclusive. For a couple of reasons. Uh, Certain things I'm not gonna just put out into the open public because you know I tell the Drew story, the people that was involved is gonna know I'm talking about that. So yeah, I have my Drew King story. I think has determined she's running because oh my god, I'm not gonna lie, Alyssa. First I laughed, and then I thought about you because I'm like, okay, I'm already loving the hell out of this. And if I'm loving the hell out of this, I know my girl Liz is going to love the fuck out of that. Johnson says, what do you think Derek would do if Ashley does end up leaning more into Andre and eventually getting. I think he's going to sit there and start throwing hands. I do. I think he's going to start throwing hands. I said, let me ask you this. If I knew the stories, then would I understand more? No, nope. Ryan, it's not. It's those two are not related. My experience does not necessarily shape my opinions about the characters. Um, I will add more depth into a certain situation if I find it more similar to my own. But no, I don't. And it's well. I mean, that's your opinion. If you think if I'm more easy on some characters than on other characters, but I watched five soap operas, and my formula is pretty much kind of very similar. So, Link says Andre tried to kiss Ashley, and she never told Derek. Then when Andre backed off, she basically pestered him until he started talking to her again. Then invited him over to her home to have. Yeah, she is wilding the out. She is wilding the out. Hey, like I said, Jonathan, I see him throw. I see at this point him throwing hands. Right? I mean, I wouldn't do that, but um, I could see him throwing hands, Jonathan. That's. I mean, if we're talking about spiraling out, then yeah, definitely throwing hands would be. You know, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Jay Blue says, "How did Sonny know that Willow was at the gym? Because he's a mob boss." I mean, I'm just assuming that he has eyes and ears everywhere. Also, if he knows that like she's going to be performing at the nurses' ball, it would just make sense to go there, right? Johnson says, "Now what if Derek starts a thing with Eva?" I don't know why, but I guess I would. I guess I wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't be a problem for me, but I do think that other people would have a problem with it, like as far as the age gap thing. Susan said, "Yeah, Derek needs to spiral right off the show." Oh, Susan said, "Derek needs to spiral his ass right off the goddamn show." Unfortunately, Jay Blue, most likely. Ryan says, "Oh, I thought that was the whole point of you telling it was to explain why you can relate to Drew. I even remember you saying something like it's hard for you to judge Drew because of his story." I said, well, I said that I understood. What's good, Juwan? I said I understood. No, I said I understood where he was coming from. I understood where he was coming from. I've been there. But no, I wouldn't sit there and say, like, I'm not going to judge. Like, I would sit there. I do judge. See, the thing is, let me tell you something, Jay's fan. I judge Drew. I just don't judge Drew as harshly as you want me to, but I judge Drew. That's how I look at it, Jeremy. I can't do this goddamn nurse's ball. You know me, Cherry. Johnson says his deck that much older. He looks that much older. And I think that's the thing, Jonathan. He looks. Optics wise, he looks that much older. No, it's not semantics. It's just not. But I think you missed the point of what I originally said though. My gorgeous queen cat lady. Albert can't wait to do because they're both slow. Uh love my life. That's the way she talks to me. I Brenda Barrett. But that's the thing though, Ryan. Jonathan, Nina is going to smack the piss out of what you call it and sleep with her. And what the fuck, bro? What, Ryan? Yo, my guy, what are you talking about? Oh, and cat lady, that comment's for you. Wow, Ryan, I'm a deadbeat. Okay, I guess you got two comments. One from Ron and one from Cat Lady. I mean, one from Ron and one from Wink, which I think you should read the one from Wink first. Which, yeah. Have a good night, Cherry. Feel better soon. And thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. Alyssa says, can't wait till Nina slash Carly. It's about damn time Carly gets smacked. It has been a long time coming. Wow. Thank you, my love. I appreciate that, Cat Lady. Ooh, ooh, very good point. Very good point. And Johnson says when Nina was supposed to do that when she learned that Willow is her daughter, and Carly kept it. Yes, on point. That's right, Alyssa. Get out the popcorn. Get out the popcorn. I never liked Brenda Barrett. But she is Brenda Barrett, though. She is Brenda Barrett. That lady is Brenda Barrett. Fucking love that movie. Jay Blue says Nina is letting Portia feed Finn off for herself, knowing well that Drew has something over her. Oh yeah, no, this is all about what you call it. Kyrie's Park just finished watching Why Not. Your best friend Nick Newman working my nerves. Why don't he fire that Amazon? Then is he to get in Billy's face? Yeah, I mean, I do agree with that, Kyrie's. Well, not fully, but I do think he was out of pocket. Kyrie says only would pick Brenda or Sam. Yeah, no, you're Brenda. Becky says Amy Albert. She is dead. I do agree with that though. Curry's. I mean, you know me. I like Nick Newman, but I thought he was out of pocket for Smith coming at Billy and not knowing the whole story. You know, he only got her story, yet he snipped it coming at her. I'm like, he's coming at her. I was like, bro, you. That's right, cat lady. We're gonna bring out the popcorn. Oh, cat lady, I saw you in Ranton Ricardo's stream today earlier. I popped in there real quick. I want to see what you was talking about, and I saw you. Wink says Phyllis is on my screen every day this week. She is our Dr. Monica Quartermain. She's Brenda Barrett. That's the name I gave Cat Lady, and that's the name that she accepted. Harry says Nick hire Phyllis at Newman Enterprises then and let Victor get in her face about it. Okay. Now Jay Blue said, can somebody explain why Nina would be hitting Carly? Aren't they working together? Oh wow. Damn, Cat Lady. Um I know she came over there to sit there and try to get her to chill out on the whole like going to court thing. What do you think of it so far, Duan? What do you think of the show? What do you think of the show so far? I know that she came over there to sit there and try to get Carly to, yeah, she tried to get her to back down. And apparently, um, Carly was just full of emotion. So Nina had to sit there and kind of check her ass. That's my guess, though. Not a fan of it, Duan? I get it. I loved it, but you know, Darby says Albert is minding Catley's business. No, I saw her in the stream and I was at there looking for her at the record. I wanted to see what she was doing. I just happened to see that. It was only 4 seasons. Yeah. Damn, cat lady. Damn, God, I love you too. Harry said today was the first time in a while I watched Warner. I just can't look at Nikki Newman too often. She makes Nikki, Nikki. You know, I love me, Nikki. No, Kelly. I would just happen to be in there and I saw you. You act like I went out my way to sit there and try to find you. I went to Ranta Ricardo. I don't know you was actually going to be there. Hmm? I don't know you was going to be there. You tell me that. Yeah, exactly, Susan. Because let's be honest, that Holly and Tate thing ain't happening. Like, Doug got that on lockdown. Doug got that. He knew, folks. Don't let him gas you. So I just happen to know that you are going to be there at that time. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love the confidence, but I feel like you're giving me too much credit. Like, although this Lex is probably the worst interpretation of Lex ever. Hey, what do you don't like about the Lex Luthor? The worst, worse than Jesse. Okay, all right, that's your opinion. Okay, so that's he always sees me there. Oh my god. God, lady, I think you just give me a little bit too much credit. I just happen to be scrolling on, during the commercials of watching Beyond the Gates, and yeah, just ranks as uh, number one stream stalker. No, I just happen to be there. I mean, I want to see what Rampton was doing because I got to sit there and hit her up. Made no sense for Lex to be out of jail. Did you? Do you know why he got put in jail though, Duan? So you rather okay? So let me get this straight, Kyle. You rather take the actor that has bad acting versus the actor that has good acting? Yeah, but you okay? All right. I don't know. I guess I kind of look at it as like she didn't feel like it was like, yeah, granted, his ass definitely need to be in jail, and he caused a lot of havoc because she let him out. But I mean, she got to stand on business, and that means that she got to stand on business, even if it's about her. But yeah. Susan says, "I think Tate is entitled. He acts stupid. I blame Teresa for how he is." Makes sense. I agree with that, Susan. Kelly says, "Yes, that's what I said. I want the old Ted back." So you want the old cat lady wants the old Ted back that couldn't act. She wants the old Ted back that couldn't act. Oh, okay. All right. Juan says Lex daughter just called him a monster and now he's boxing or something. Oh, he kind of was a monster. He kind of was a monster, but like, okay. All right. I mean, I wouldn't sit there and say he was necessarily the worst, but he was more serious. I would sit there and say he was more the serious. Like he wasn't the evil genius scientist or whatever, or the business mogul. You know, that's interesting. Wayne said the last time was carrying a lot of groceries in his trunk. Yes, she is Black Mon, because she loves me. I mean, she prefers the person she prefers the acting of the other guy that was like, so do you understand what I'm talking about, nephew? Do you get what I'm sitting there saying? I mean, I just try to sit there and do what was the right thing to do. That's the version that she prefers. I I just literally sat there and mimicked exactly how he acts. Baby girl, we're practically on the same level as acting. I could have did his job. Like I literally did his job. Oh my lord. Okay. All right. That was hilarious. Uh, Thank you, cat lady, for the good laugh. Good for you. Now bring back old Ted. Yeah, we can bring back old Ted. We can sit there and bring back his acting style, and you know, but don't worry. I can sit there and act out some of his parts. I think we're pretty much on the same level. Damn, Ron, you are a terrible wingman. Jesus Christ, bro. Oh, no, that's not it. I get this. He's not doing. I don't know. I guess for me, like the minute that he came in, I was like, "Damn, this is so much of an improvement." I was like, "Damn, this is so much of an improvement." I don't give. Cat lady says, "I don't give an itch about his acting. His freaking arms can hold all my worries. Bring me old time." Oh my god, that is hilarious. Ah, that was good. I was okay. Oh my lord, that's hilarious. Becky, you know how my Ronnie Ron is. He's my he's my jester. He makes me laugh. Cat lady's making me laugh as well. Oh my god. Now Jonathan says people need to give Joel from Power Rangers a chance as Ted. Oh yeah, because he's a better actor. He's a better acting. And last time I checked, I thought that's what we were about. It was about fucking acting. But Black Mom says, when are you going to visit Cat Lady? Whenever she wants me to. Oh, Becky. Let me put it this way. His comments are so funny, I have to sit there and literally screenshot them because I have a good time laughing at work. They're that funny. Harry says, I'll predict next week is going to be worst week in the history of B&B. That's right. I'll take Tom Starr's place. Ooh. Oh, I get that. I do. I just, I don't know. I guess I kind of find it a little hilarious. I do. I kind of, what the fuck? How many drinks did you have, Ron? Should I be worried? Harry's, I will crush an ocean for that woman. I will crush an ocean for that woman. Oh my goddamn. Cat lady, you love me. You stop it. Ori being a bad girl. Shit. See, Black Mom? See that? W says, sometimes I believe you are Ron's jester because you are the one who en- engages with him. He's my jester. That's Ronnie Ron is awesome. Oh, Kyrie's. Oh shit! You about to sit there and start soon? Never mind. I guess I'll just ask you on your stream. You're about to start that 2 minutes. Damn, man. Just worried about Kelly to stay away from Agatha because he can't be trusted. He would try to sleep with her and possibly knock her up. He's not a man. He's very childish and a negative, negative person. I mean, I'm an asshole, but I'm not a negative person. You heard that, Black man? I mean, here's the thing. I'm not gonna sit there and try to take sides in this whole thing because y'all keeping it peaceful and civil. But I will sit there and say that we do need Michael, negative petty king. I can be well. To be fair, Harry's just gotten a little more higher than me as far as petty. I'm just an asshole. I believe I believe every word. Callie, you stop it. Shit. I'm gonna take care of you this summer. Don't you worry about that. Aren't assholes typically negative? Yeah, but I'm the exception. I'm the exception. I'm the exception. I'm very. I mean, I don't want to sit there and say I'm upbeat, but Susan says when my daughter called, I told her I was watching Beyond the Gates, and she said, "Is that the new soap about all the dead soap stars?" Thank you, Susan. I like to think that I'm the exception. Thank you, Callie. See, that's the type of compliments I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, my love. See, Black Man, that's the type of love that I'm looking for right there. That's the type of love I'm looking for right there. She thought it was referred to Heaven's Gates. Johnson says Sonny was right. Michael wouldn't be happy with Carly fighting for custody on his behalf. Yeah, exactly. That's actually. See, but this is what I'm saying though, Jonathan. This is why I sat there and said that they should have looked for a new Michael. Okay. Yeah, I'm a very weird person, Black Man. I'm a very weird person. They should have been looking for a new Michael because in all reality, Michael should be fighting this battle. And you know what? Let's just be real for a hot minute. You got Willow, you got Michael. It's everybody that's involved that's turning this into something that's more uglier than it should actually be. That's the problem, Jonathan. You got Drew that's in Willow's ear. You got Carly that's not there taking control of the situation. And if they would just, if it wasn't for this whole burn thing, and they just let Michael and Willow talk, Carly suggests up top to the he is very weird part. Yeah, I like to sit there and think that it's interesting. Listen, I'd rather be weird than boring. Yes, I think that's a compliment. Exactly, Black man. I like to think that that's a compliment. Ron says, I will lose all respect for Cutler as she falls for Albert's BS. Wow. Is that how you really feel about me, Ron? Damn, that's cold. It didn't actually rain that hard, Darby. It was actually pretty light. It's been shitty for the last past couple of days. But it was actually pretty mild. So, unless it rained while I was no, it actually didn't rain. No, not over here. Damn. Damn. That's why I love you, cat lady. So fucking love you. Johnson says, I do think that Michael could possibly show up during the nurses ball. Jonathan, you remember what I said the storyline was gonna be, right? If Michael shows up for the nurses ball, and you know what I'm gonna okay, if you remember what I said, you know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm gonna do if he shows you remember what I said. I hope he was in the stream when I said that. You know what I'm gonna sit there and say. I talked about that a couple of days ago. Maybe it was last week. Yeah, no, Ryan, no, Jonathan remembers what I said is gonna happen. You can't see wow. I know it's gonna be I don't think Michael will perform. I think he will appear out of nowhere and attack Joe. Okay. I think he's going to perform. They're going to be singing, and then Michael's going to come out of nowhere. He's going to start singing, and then I'm going to be right, and anyone that disagrees with me is going to be wrong. Cody says, when Albert finds love, all the haters come out the woods. Yeah, I know, Dory, especially my jester. Ron. Did you know that in the state of Tennessee, you can't sue the police for not doing their job? I remember when Lauren Page case when she accidentally fell off a cliff and her friend did. You can't sue. Hmm, that's interesting. Angela Albert? Angela Albert. I don't know. It's the fact that both of our names starts with A. Alcat. See, oh, we do have a name. And Cat Lady agreed to it because Jolometics came out with it. Meowbird. Alley Cat. Eh, that could work. I mean, our name is Meowbird because Cat Lady and Bird has a yeah. So Meowbird. Johnson says and coming out just saying will be like I think it will be why do you think it'll be like I think it'll be interesting. I think it will just be like a shock value moment. Yeah, Meowbird. I think it'll be a good shock moment because it would sit there and show that it would sit there and show yeah, I like it. I like it, Becky. That's what Dolomax came up with. It would show that not only is he back, but he's back in full form, fully recovered. I mean, think about it. He's like singing and dancing and stuff like that. Like, he's ready to sit there and kick ass and take names. That was not our name. Baby girl, that was the name that you agreed to. Dumas came out with it, and you said yes, and I said yes, and you said yes. What are you doing? Why are we doing takebacks for? Black Moss said he has found love for Cat Lady, and I can't wait for the wedding. Me too. I got a wife. I got to wife her up. Boss Boss Cat is good. Maybe you can do both. Maybe he can do both though, Jonathan. Maybe you can do the singing and the dancing, and then at the end, as like a mic drop, he can hit him. Well, maybe this new one could. I mean, you remember how that was though, right, Jonathan? How Brooklyn, how she could sing, and then they had to get somebody else because they couldn't sing. Meow, bird, bobcat. I know which one you're talking about. Kelly says no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't dumbass. It was Albie Cat. Wink, wink. Gave us that name. Oh shit, that was hilarious. Hold on. I like Albie Cat too. Damn. I love how she just 1 second, Ron. I gotta, I gotta just, damn. You can hear the love in that shit too. Ron says when Laura and Mother filed a wrongful death suit against them to start talking, they used their Fifth Amendment, meaning that they refused to speak. Kelly said, "This is why we won't make it." Nope. You can't. Baby girl, you literally sat there and you agreed to it. Okay, she agreed to it. And now she's sitting there trying to take it back and trying to make me look stupid. And that's not the case. Otherwise, she just out there call me a dumbass, which I fucking love her. Johnson says, what if Drew proposed to Willow on stage and then from behind gets attacked by Michael? That'd be kind of cool, but also kind of cowardly. So I'll be somewhat okay with that. You just don't like the singing part, do you? You are because I never agreed to that name. Dolly Cap, hoping I will. Wow. Wow. She's so bad. So bad. I fucking love her. No, Ron, I would love myself. Damn. And Johnson says, not cowardly, any man would want to strike back at any fellow that did him dirty. I mean, I get it. Like, you did him dirty, he's going to do you dirty. I get that part. But when I sit there and say hit him from behind, I mean, you know, sneak attacks is not exactly honorable, but again, you're fighting fire with fire, right? So, okay. I mean, let's be honest. If we're gonna look at it, he would have to. He's fighting a navy. He's fighting a Navy SEAL. So I guess you would kind of have to. Oh, he can do whatever he wants, however he wants. So okay. Okay, Ryan. I'm not even I'm not gonna bother to sit there and read the rest of that. He can do whatever he wants whenever he wants because you love Michael and you can do no wrong. Got it. That is awesome right there. He can do whatever he wants whenever he wants. That's a new one. Didn't see that one coming. Wow. I don't know where Candace Mack fits in, Ron, but um, hmm, oh damn. Wow, God, really? Ruined his life? Hmm, maybe, but I don't think it's the wrong answer. I think it's just my opinion that you disagree with adamantly, very emotionally. But okay, thank you, Blackmon, because Blackmon is a G. You are a G, my guy. I appreciate you. Shit. Ancient. He's so bad. My God, Callie, you're such a bad girl. Just makes me love you even more. And so, see, this is why people think you are easy on Jude. You give none of the other characters any grace. To be mad at him, you call Carly ungrateful. You say that Jason was wrong for punching him, etc. Yeah, but I've also actually criticized you as well. That's the thing. I've criticized you as well. I don't criticize him to the extent that you want me to, but I do. Such a bad girl. Ron says, yuck, Connie Vanetsky spit in that cup, Albert. You're disgusting. Oh, Ron, you're hilarious. I am too, Black Mon. I am too. I can't wait. I mean, I gotta straighten her out anyway, but yes. Susan says, Susan says, I don't get how Willow and Drew think it's okay to flaunt their relation public. Yeah, that's the thing, Susan. I during Valentine's Day, that was definitely out of pocket. That's definitely, especially during Valentine's Day, like that's crazy. But you have never unconditionally said that us viewers and the other characters are. Yeah, I haven't because I don't necessarily think that you are. I mean, at the end of the day, Ryan. Here's the thing: I'm not gonna sit there and say that you people are right. You people have an opinion to whatever it is. If you dislike Drew, that's totally fine. I like Drew, you dislike Drew. It's not the end of the world that we disagree about. I mean, you already seem like you got a little upset that I was. What was I doing? I was not a problem. It's a TV show, but I don't exactly know what you said because I was drinking. You said something like, "Oh, I was dismissing your feelings" or something. And I think that's what it was. And I was like, "Yeah, A wolf in sheep's clothing. Ron, I'm not gonna lie. Your version, your fanfic version of me, that was actually more interesting to me. I'm actually kind of jealous of this version that you have of me, Ron. He sounds awesome and exciting, and probably doesn't eat like the same food like every day. This is an interesting person. You're so bad. I mean, Cat Lady, we're gonna sit there and watch some asylum movies as well. So I hope you're cool with that. But yeah, like I said, I don't know, Ryan. It's not really that serious for me. Let's see who's in your stream. Okay. I had to sit there and see what Kyrus is doing. Oh, it's all good, Becky. It's good to see. Like I said, it's been a hot minute since I've seen you, so it's good to see you again. Whenever, whenever I get to see you, I'm happy. Don't be sorry about that. Oh, that's interesting. You know me. Sometimes I like to sit there and see what everyone else is doing. I know Cat Lady calls it stalking, but um, like I said, Ryan, at the end of the day, you know, I don't find it that serious. But Darby says, Albert, are you sure that Ron is your jester and not your worst enemy? No, Ron is hilarious. Ron is hilarious. Like he says, it's always good to be here. I enjoy the company. I enjoy having you here. So always know I appreciate you, Becky. Ron says, jealous of your boy. Bye. You forgot that I have both Jada and Melinda Trash as my sister. There's a show called Sister Wives. No, cool, Ron. Only woman I need is this woman right here named Kathy. Sister, uh, that man is hilarious. That man is hilarious. See, Ryan is kind of new to the stream, so Ryan was sitting there thinking that I was taking what Ron says seriously. I'm like, Ryan's been with me for like what, like 2 years or something like that. Ron is that dude's hilarious. Oh fuck man. All right. If you're a member, I'm gonna sit there and start working on this stuff tonight. I have a little somewhat surprise. Um, it's not gonna be super amazing, but I think it'd be kind of interesting now. Sit there and what I got in store. So yes, I'm gonna sit there and end the stream here. I do got to wake up somewhat early tomorrow. But I do want to thank everyone for joining. This is actually a lot of fun. As always, I appreciate every single one of y'all. I've been saying all sorts of sweet and nice things to Cat Lady, and she's been giving me attitude since she's gotten here. Fucking love her. But yes, I do want to thank everyone for joining us. Ryan says, let me just say one more thing. I think part of why I frustrate is because you have dislike characters for doing way less than what Drew has done. Fair, I guess. Yeah, that's your opinion. But yes, happy night, Ryan. Happy night, my gorgeous queen, cat lady, aka Brenda Barrett. Happy night, Queen Becky D. Happy night, Ronnie Ron. Happy night, Blackmon. Happy night, Darby. Members, I will sit there and see y'all tomorrow. So y'all stay safe. And Ron says, I think you should get a cardboard cutout of Cat Lady lookalike. I have to get more. I keep breaking them by accident. Have a good night, Susan. Have a good night, Alyssa. It's great to see you. Thank you for coming tonight. Becky says, I have a good night, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekends. Thank you for the laughs. Thank you for being here. Kelly, I'm pretty rough, so, you know. That's why I can't go and buy curtains, because I got to sit there and buy new more cardboard cutouts again. That's your fault. That's your fault, Kelly. Ron says, have a good night, everyone. I try, Black Man. I try. It's her fault. Have a good night, Darby. Everyone, have a great weekend. Members, I will sit there and see y'all tomorrow. And, yeah, good night. Laters.